going to be us taking a look at markets. Right. Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome. Right. Just to say hi. Right. I'm actually using I started using this screen. I mean this video, recording the video side today. Actually, I've had this feature on for as long as obviously I downloaded Zoom, but I've never used it before. I think mainly because the quality of the video, you guys can see me and hear me obviously, but the quality itself is not that good. So I'll probably just get a webcam, right? Better quality webcam or something, and then I'll just connect it to there. Hopefully that's not going to be distracting because I'm actually looking at my monitor on the right hand side. So I'm not looking directly through to the laptop, looking at my monitor because I have a separate monitor on the right hand side, which I use for charts when I'm doing analysis. So hopefully that doesn't distract you guys too much. Right, so today we're going to start off, we usually start off with our euro dollar, right? Euro dollar as being, this is sort of like practice for our sessions because our sessions soon are just going to be me, camera, right? So I already got a camera and I'll just have my whiteboard in the background and I'll be able to write stuff for the sessions. Hopefully that's going to simplify a lot of things for the group. Okay, so today we're looking at the Australian dollar, US dollar. We usually start off with Euro USD, as you guys know, and as you see, we have been on a very steep decline for the past 2 months, right? We did have a bit of a spike below that 68.50 zone, right? 68.50 zone, and the market pulled back in a bit and is currently at 6,900. Okay, now technically we're still short long term on the Australian dollar, US dollar, simply because the long term trend suggests that even if you're looking at the daily time frame, we have the 200 moving average floating above the actual market price right now. So therefore, I mean, that would be us looking at short-term longs, right? Shorts rather. Now, that doesn't mean we won't be taking any longs on it, right? We won't be buying, but that will only be a short-term scenario. So if we look at this H4 4-hour, right? This was 2 weeks ago. The swing high and the swing low from this week, right? The market came in, boom, right? Pushed up, broke above that 6,900 zone and tagged 69.28, which was also the 1618% Fibonacci extension. Okay, on the upper side, we don't see anything significant forming over here, right? So there is a potential for the move to push even higher to that 261.8%, which is that 700 zone. Okay, so 7 even, that is a level that we can see the market push up to eventually on the Australian dollar, US dollar. We'd like to see a bit of a pullback to the downside, right? Preferably to at least 6,800, right? So 68.78, right? 68.80. Let's just say 68.80, which was the previous week's high. And if the market reacts to that zone with a rejection candle, right? Probably a tap on one of the moving averages, perhaps the 1 hour, right? If we get that sort of play, we're definitely looking at buying the Australian dollar, US dollar short term. Okay, so if that does happen, we'll probably be looking at a potential, let's just say, okay, from the yellow line through to here, that's about 115 pips. Okay, on Australian dollar, US dollar, that's quite a lot of pips. And as you can see, we have the daily moving average also close by at 69.50. So that's also one more point to actually look out for, right? So let's see if it does pull back to that 68.80 zone and get some sort of a rejection. We'll definitely be looking at long opportunities on the short term for now. Okay. Now the Euro USD, okay. Euro USD has been somewhat of a, very dodgy market, okay, for the past couple of days. Although long term, I'm still short. As you can see, the moving average is firmly above market price, and therefore we are looking at short-term opportunities on the long term. But in the short term, I mean, we've had a bit of a rally for the past couple of weeks. I think 6 weeks in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or probably more like 4 weeks in total, where the market just rallied to the upside, which obviously cashing in on some of the shorts, okay, some of the shorts that were executed from this excessive or extreme downtrend from that 112 to about 109 zone. Okay, so the market just dropped below parity at, that was on the USDCAD server, but it just dropped below 110, which was a level that I have been looking at. I've been talking about it for months, and we actually did hit that zone. I think it was last month or so. So long term, looking at downward opportunities, right? For now, I'd definitely be looking at a buy on the Euro USD. I'd have to see a market pull back into one of these highs, right? Okay, rather these highs. Let me just get my drawing tool in there. Okay, these highs perhaps, okay, just above 110.50. That would be a nice level for me. And you can see the swing low over here from the past 2 weeks. That would be a really good zone for me to actually look at a potential buy at. Okay. Now, if we do go through to the H1, right? If we do go through to the H1, okay, we could see a potential push just before that level. Let's say at 111, right? So you could get a push just above or just before that zone we're actually anticipating. Now, the only way we'll be able to know that is once the market gets here and we get some sort of a rejection and the market breaks above 111.50 at least. Okay, so that would be the only reason why I change my bias, or I'd get in a bit earlier on. And also, the move itself, I mean, you're not looking at a lot of pips, probably from this swing through to that swing high. That's about 81 pips to 112. Okay, and that should be a decent amount of pips. Yeah, that should be a decent amount of pips for the move from this swing high over here, like I said, through to that swing point, so 112. So from 110.50 to 112 even, that would be where the market is poised to run into. Okay, so let's wait and see how the market plays out there. Okay, if anything does change, or if we see like a potential for the market to shift away pretty early, I'll post something in the group so you guys can at least see and be on the same page. Now, also GBPUSD, I've been short GBPUSD for quite a while, and if you guys remember this is the area that made me reluctant to continue with my short bias, right? Although we did get somewhat of a nice setup, inducing some shorts on the downside, right? If you did take it, I mean, you probably would pay like 200 pips or so. But if you were looking at a long-term swing, or rather a long-term position trade, you probably got out on break even or something like that. Now, on the daily, you can see the market actually broke above the daily 200 moving average, which is quite significant, and is hovering around price level 129 even. Okay. Also, I'm looking at downward trend eventually on the GBPUSD, but for now, obviously, we are looking at the short-term momentum heading upwards. I like to see a pull back down. Okay, we're not just going to be looking at getting in blindly. Preferably, I'd like to see the market come to this 127 zone, which is quite far, right? So that's about 200 pips in total, right? And there's no significant, or there's no real shorting opportunity at this moment around here to at least catch the move going down. So that might require a bit of patience. Like I said, I mean, with the Brexit news last month, there was quite a few things on the lineup on the GBP. So I think that really affected the structure of the market. But in terms of general support and resistance zones, I mean, we did expect somewhat of a rejection at this 1975 zone. So 127, definitely something to take a look at. And if we were to get that opportunity, I mean, we're looking at a really good profit potential on this one, right? even if we take it back up to that high, that's about 300 pips in total, and through to that swing high, 474. Obviously, we'll do another session next week. And should the market get there, right? I doubt it's going to get there this week, but should it get there to that 127 zone, we're going to have a really good potential trade setup. It's actually quite a significant zone as well. Previous resistance, market broke above it, previous support as well. So the market does seem to be respecting this zone quite significantly. So let's see how the market plays out there. And if we do get an opportunity, we'll be able to take it. That will be more a position trade than a swing trade, because it's probably going to be quite a few weeks for that one to develop. Okay, and GBP, JPY, right? So the pound yen, very similar in terms of that it broke the daily structure, right? I don't believe it broke that support level. Okay, so yeah, there was this support level that I was looking at here at this low on the weekly time frame. My anticipation was that the market was going to come down to that low there, right? So 123.086, but the market just shifted away from that low. Okay, now we can see it broke above the 200-day moving average, and I'd like to see a pullback similar to the GBPUSD setup, and a rejection at around 138 would be something I would be really interested in. Okay, so about 138 and 138 is somewhere around there. There's also your moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and that is about 180 pips to 200 pips in total in terms of movement. So I think we can expect somewhat of some decent movement, but obviously this one I doubt as well it's going to develop anytime soon, right? So it's probably going to take about a week for that trade setup to develop, and we're going to need some sort of confirmation as well added to what we've already analyzed before we take the trade. Okay. Now the pound, or rather the dollar yen, if you're looking at the weekly, we can see the market hit the low of 2018, okay, with this nice aggressive candle here. Boom, right? Just tagged 104.50 and just started shifting away. Now I am, okay, my anticipation, looking for some buying opportunities on the USD JPY should the following happen, right? If you guys remember, we've been sort of neutral on the GBP, on the USD JPY, simply because it hasn't been trending anywhere, right? This triangle here, boom. You can see that the market has been sort of like contracting. So we've been expecting a breakout to either side. You see the moving average, also the 200 moving average is moving in between the actual price. So once the moving average is in between the price, it really just tells us that the market isn't trending as much as we'd like it to. However, this does pose an opportunity as well, in that we can trade both ways in this sort of market. Okay, now we see somewhat of a pullback to the downside. Okay, let's just break it down through to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, you can take this swing low, right, of 106.50. Right, for now we're just looking at a buying bias, right, because we just came off these fresh lows at 104.50. Okay, I'd like to see the market break above the swing high, right, this 109 level. If that does happen, I'm certainly looking at 110.50 as a level that the market can sort of like reject at again. Okay, so if you look at the 4-hour time frame, right, you have this swing low here through to that swing high, and that just tagged at 50% Fibonacci retracement. And for our extension, right, from that swing high through to where the entry point would have been, that's about 200 pips to 1618% retracement. Okay, so definitely, I mean, the 108 zone looks to me like a really decent one. Okay, although I'd like to see the market pull back into that zone again in order for us to actually get into the trade. However, if that does not happen, we'd have to expect, or rather wait for a breakout above 109 and market to pull back in and then extend higher to the upper levels. Okay, so to around 110.50. Right, so because you don't want to just enter where the market is right now, although 108 would have definitely been an area of interest, but since that looks like it could possibly be gone, we'd much rather wait for that 109.100 or a return to 108.100 with a rejection candle at that particular price level. Okay. And I do believe we have done the Australian dollar, US dollar. Okay, I think the last one is supposed to be US dollar CAD. Right. Now on the dollar CAD is one of the more choppier markets. So like that Euro CHF, as you can see on the weekly time frame, since 2016 we've had these choppy sideways movements, and then 2017 this aggressive drop to the downside. But aside from that, the market is fairly very choppy, obviously due to the fact that it is closely correlated with oil. Okay, now on the daily, just looking at the daily time frame, we see that the market is actually in a range. The 200-day moving average is in between the actual price, and you can see that there is a swing high, sort of like a channel, right? Let's just draw the channel like this. Okay. Okay, boom. We have somewhat of a channel. Okay. And the market is just staying within that range for the moment. Okay, so if we go down to our 4-hour time frame, we can see a nice tag on the previous week's low. All right, so that was somewhere September low. Okay, we had an aggressive push to the downside. Now, in a scenario like this, you can trade on both directions. You can trade in both directions, long or short. On the short term, so that means if you get a short opportunity, right, that is in line with whatever methodology that we are applying for it, then you can take the short. If you spot along, right, you can actually take the buy right there and there. So with this particular setup, I would have loved to see a push, or rather a sell stop at this 132 zone. Okay? Because if you look at where the swing high is through to this swing low, see the market pushed up to that 50 to 62% Fibonacci retracement. Okay, although we might not have an aggressive move to the downside, because I would actually advise anyone who did, let's say, get on the trend or get on the trade to the downside to probably exit around 130, 1.4, right? So on the sell side, if you did get it, 130, 1.4. I did send out a signal, I think, in the signal group. Can't quite remember the actual price, but it was sometime last week, so I think it was somewhere around here, because I also saw that a bit late. So that is only up about 40, at most it was up like 50 pips, so we already broke even on that one. So most of the take profits haven't been hit on that trade. I think only take profit one has been tagged. So at most we're looking at this previous swing low at 130.50. Okay, because the market is still sideways, and we can't expect to get these aggressive moves that give us 500 pips or 300 pips in one single day. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Right, any questions you'd like me to take this moment? I think we got a few minutes where we can actually take questions. Okay, nothing. Right, so if there are 0 questions, what I'll do is I'll upload this video on through to the YouTube channel. So if you missed any part of it, you'll be able to get the recording, right, and just rewatch the whole thing. In the Telegram channel, I did speak about competition, right? Now, these are going to be 2 different competitions, right? So the one is going to measure trading skill, and the other one is going to be sort of like a lucky draw type of thing, where people will be winning like $50 accounts, $20 accounts, perhaps $100 accounts. I'll see how much we can actually make there, but it's just going to be something exclusive to the group. Even the trading competition is going to be exclusive to the group. Right there, probably going to be giving away for the guy or the girl, right? Who's probably going to be a girl, but the person who produces the most amount in a certain period with the best risk control, and we're going to take into account all of those things. So it's not just going to be how much money you make on the account, it's going to be how well you actually trade it, right? So that's what we're going to be rewarding. It's probably going to be $1,000 reward, first prize. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to have a second or third prize if we put up $1,000 for the first prize, but I will send out details because we're going to be starting that, I think, probably sometime next week. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's session, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the advanced session, right? 7 p.m. same time, and cheers, guys.